Hello, welcome. So, we all know that when we're pregnant, a baby in utero develops its sense of hearing. Um, that is often why, once the baby is born, white noise can be very comforting to the baby because white noise is very similar to the noise that the baby will hear of the breathing when they're in utero. So, what is even better than white noise is a human breath. So, even me as an adult, I can hear the difference between white noise that is static, white noise that is traffic, white noise that is rain, white noise, and white noise that is breathing white noise. So, breathing white noise is the best because it's what they associate with the closest. But even better than random breathing white noise is the breathing of the person who carried them when they were in utero. Because each person has their own way of breathing, their own tempo, their own almost like a musical phrasing. And babies are born really being able to pick their carers out from a lineup. They recognize their carers' faces, they recognize their carers' smell, they recognize their carers' sounds, and they recognize their carers' heartbeat and breath sounds. So, what I thought we'd do today is what the yoga people call an Ujjayi breath, which is an audible breath. And it's basically a way of projecting your breath out so that other people can hear it. There's quite a few of my students who, despite trying to make their breath as loud as possible, it's just not a loud thing. So it's not something that everybody can hear. Someone like myself, I can project my breath out so that the person sitting opposite me can hear it. But that's years and years of practice. So, to do an audible breath, what we need to do is create a lock in the throat. And the movement is the same kind of movement as if we were cleaning glasses. And by glasses, I mean glasses, not glasses. So if you had a pair of glasses and you were doing a movement of the throat in order to clean them and fog them up, that's the kind of movement that you want to make through your throat, except you want to keep your mouth closed, preferably, and you want the air to go in and out of the nose. Obviously, if you can't breathe in and out of your nose, just breathe in and out of your mouth. There's no point in not doing the exercise at all, but preferably in and out of the nose is best. So, what we'll start off doing is I'll get you to practice with your mouth open. So, and then we'll breathe back the other way. So, breathe out and breathe in. Yep. All right, let's have a couple of goes of that with the mouth closed. So it goes. Don't worry if that takes you a little bit of practice. If you've got a newborn baby, you've got all the time in the world for practicing this because it's something that you can do whilst you're holding your baby to connect with your baby. Sometimes my patients will struggle to fit in exercises, but usually breathing practice is one that we can do whilst we're sitting down holding a baby. So, how you know you've got the movement and the sound right is that it should sound a little bit like listening into a seashell. Or the other likeness that people use is Darth Vader's voice, that kind of that breathing that does Darth Vader does. If it sounds like a sniff, that's incorrect. There's no lock in the throat with a sniff. It's all in the nose, and you're going to be stressing out the tissues of the nose. So if you're getting a sniff sound or if you're feeling it in your sinuses or in your nose, then you're working through the nose and not through the throat. If that happens, maybe come back to, again, those glasses and keep practicing with that open mouth until you feel confident, and then shut the mouth and see if you can keep going. The other thing is, usually when people start with an audible breath or an Ujjayi breath, it's quite a lot of brain thought that goes into it. And what we tend to do is we tend to overbreathe. When we overbreathe, when we take in too much oxygen, we'll start to get a little bit dizzy and lightheaded. So if you start to get a little bit dizzy and lightheaded, either stop the exercise for today or just go back to a normal breath until your dizziness disappears. And then maybe you can start the Ujjayi or the audible breath again, but at just a little bit less intensity. So before we actually have a little bit of a practice of this, we're going to go over, holding a baby. Not holding a baby, I'm going to assume that you know how to hold a baby, but a really good way of holding a baby for an Ujjayi breath. Typically, especially if your baby's being breastfed, but even if they're not being breastfed, this is not the best way of just connecting with the baby and breathing with the baby, because if you hold them this way, they often think they're about to be fed and they kind of get distracted. Your best bet is to hold your baby this way. The other thing that you can do with that is the fontanelle is here. So there's some resonance or reverberation that happens through the bones here. You can very gently rest your chin above your baby's head or just have a little bit of a gap there. That's fine. Yes, you can have your baby out this way. That's fine as well. But there can be more distractions for baby to be looking at. If you go in this way, it's just that little bit more closed down. Absolutely, baby's most likely going to turn their head to one side or the other. That's fine. We want both yourself and baby to be comfortable, relaxed, and warm. If it is not comfortable to sit upright like what I'm doing, then lean yourself into a chair or onto a wall, something where you can let your body settle. If you're tense, your baby's going to pick up on that. They're going to not only tense, but then they're going to associate the breath with tension. And it's probably not the same breath that they heard in utero, because the in utero breath was your everyday breath and your slightly more relaxed breath. So get yourself comfortable. Hold your baby with as much kind of contact as you can. It doesn't have to be tight. Just, not sort of like this. Some good contact. Skin to skin is wonderful, but just with some good contact, and so that the baby feels well supported. You might hold underneath the bottom ear. Even a baby carrier, this can be a really nice one to do in a baby carrier. I'm going to get you to close your eyes. Allow your body to soften and relax. Allow your body to drop down into the supports underneath you. Then, when you're ready, creating the lock in your throat and starting your audible breath. Remember, your baby doesn't care if your breath is long or short. What your baby wants is the breath that it remembers, your breath. Allow the rhythm and the movement of your breath to relax both your body and your baby. From here, allowing your breath to return back to normal, allowing your breath to come naturally in and out of your body, and then gently, whenever you're ready, opening your eyes and coming safely back into the room. So hopefully you can feel that sense of relaxation within your body. Hopefully your baby can also feel that sense of relaxation in your body. If it may take you some practice, and it may take you some practice not just for yourself, but for the baby as well. We wouldn't expect a human, like an adult, to be able to do things first time, and we certainly don't expect babies to be able to catch on to things first time. This audible breath is really beautiful for calming the nervous system. It's really beautiful for calming your nervous system and your baby's nervous system. You need a calm nervous system for bonding. You need a calm nervous system for producing milk if you're breastfeeding. You need a calm nervous system to get to sleep, and you need a calm nervous system to grow, to digest your food properly. All of those things and those processes that happen in the back end of life, the things that we don't often notice but happen every day. We need a calm nervous system. So this Ujjayi or audible breath is a really good one for if your milk supply is low. It's a really good one for if you've had any kind of birth trauma. It's a really good one for if you do suffer from any sort of anxiety, or just if you really want to bond with your baby or need to settle your baby down for sleep. I hope this video was helpful. Feel free to comment or get in touch if you have any questions. Thank you. Namaste.